Good evening and welcome to the National News broadcast, bringing to you live from the National News studios here at Rupavahini. We are ready to bring you the top stories here at home and around the world. I'm Charita Vinipurarachi.
And I'm Hushain Ali. Let's have a look at the headlines for tonight.
War heroes will be given outright deeds under the Urume National Program. People pay homage to the late Iranian president in the capital Tehran. Sri Lankan president expressed his condolences in Colombo. Fishermen have been informed to prevent from fishing activities until further notice. Religious programs have been organized island-wide to mark the Vesak full moon Poil Day. The draft bills of state financial management and economic transformation were presented in Parliament. Norway, Ireland and Spain accept the state of Palestine.
On to those stories and others in detail, and your top story for tonight is President Ranil Wickremesinghe announced the implementation of a new program aimed at improving the living conditions of retired security forces members.
The President made this statement today during the inauguration of the headquarters complex of the Sri Lanka Ex-Servicemen Association, also known as the Home of Veterans, located at the Defence Ministry venue, Akuregoda, Battaramulla. The President emphasized the government's commitment to the welfare of retired war heroes, announcing that those residing in war hero villages will be granted free land rights under the Urume National Program. President Wickremesinghe also revealed plans to introduce special provisions for the Defence Act, legalize the National Defence Council and establish Armed Forces Committee. To support the welfare of retired war heroes from 3 armed forces, the headquarters building was constructed with financial contributions from both the association and the armed forces. The association, established in 1944 by military personnel who retired at the end of the Second World War, spearheaded this initiative. President Ranil Wickremesinghe said that he learned that the war heroes living in the war hero villages have not yet received their land rights. The President said that promises were made but not fulfilled. Therefore, a committee has been appointed to complete this task within the next 2 months and issue freehold deeds to all under the Urume National Program. Consequently, we are confident that the work will be completed by July. He said that additionally, we have focused on the future of the armed forces and national security. A separate advisory committee has been appointed to develop the necessary security program through 2030. The President said that he anticipated receiving the report soon, after which everyone will have the opportunity to review and provide feedback. He added that by 2030, we must prepare to address emerging national security challenges. The responsibilities of the tri-forces should be clearly defined and the country's resources should be utilized according to a well-structured plan. The President said that he also intended to introduce the Special Protection Provisions Act. The establishment of the National Security Council, as highlighted in the Easter Sunday Commission, is essential and will be legalized along with the appointment of the Armed Forces Committee. The President said that additionally we will be establishing the Sri Lanka Institute of Strategic Studies, which will offer military tactics education to those in the armed services, retirees and civilians. Interested individuals can participate in these programs. This initiative will coincide with the ongoing restructuring of the security forces. It is undeniable that retirees both are burned the challenges during the recent difficult period. We need to explore what concessions can be offered to each sector. The current system of providing one pension per rank is already functioning. Efforts are underway to implement welfare programs through the Ranaviru Seva Authority. He added that we've also directed our attention towards those who are retiring from service. It's crucial to explore avenues for creating new sources of income. Regrettably, some have opted to seek opportunities in Russia due to the lack of opportunities domestically. It's imperative that individuals, according to their capabilities, are provided opportunities, earn a sustainable income within the country or abroad. The President said that our retiring military personnel possess unique skills and talents. As the country's economy continues to develop, it's essential to offer them new avenues for growth. Today, we have the chance to foster economic development thanks to the sacrifices made by the war heroes of the past.
Moving on, the official ceremony to pay last respect to the Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and others were held today in the capital Tehran in Iran. A large number of state leaders, foreign ministers, ambassadors and top-level diplomats were present at this ceremony. Special traditional prayer was held for the dead. Iranian spiritual leader Ayatollah Al-Khamenei were also present at this event. Remains of the late president and others were taken from the Inqilab Square to the Azadi Liberation Square with a state cottage. Tens of thousands of Iranian people gathered either side of the road and paid the last respect to their beloved leader Ibrahim Raisi. Later, state leaders, foreign ministers, ambassadors and top-level diplomats paid their last respect to the dead. Indian Vice President Jagdeep Dhankhar, Iraq Prime Minister Mohammad al-Shayh al-Sudani, Russian Speaker Vyacheslav Volodin and many other state leaders were present at this occasion. The Sri Lanka delegation headed by Minister Ali Sabri conveyed their condolences to the Iranian acting President Mohammad Mokhbar and other ministers. Minister Ali Sabri also presented the condolence message issued by President Ranil Wickremesinghe. President Ranil Wickremesinghe conveyed his condolences over the sudden demise of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi to the Iranian ambassador at the embassy office in Colombo this morning. When the president arrived at the Iranian embassy, he was warmly accepted by the ambassador Dr. Ali Reza Deklosh and his staff. Later, President Wickremesinghe held a mutual discussion with them and signed a remark at the condolences book placed at the embassy. President Ranil Wickremesinghe expressed his deep sympathies to the Iranian government and the people on behalf of Sri Lankan government and the people. Meanwhile, the parliament today observed 2-minute silence in memory of the late Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi and others. A large number of ministers, ambassadors and distinguished guests arrived at the Iranian ambassador's official residence today as well to convey their condolences. Opposition leader Sajid Premadasa arrived at the residence and conveyed his sympathies to the Iranian ambassador. And also a special prayer was held at the Juma Mosque in Kolapitia today for the late Iranian president and others under the patronage of Ambassador Dr. Ali Reza Deklosh.
And meanwhile, the Met Department says that rainy and windy conditions may prevail further since the southwestern monsoon is gradually activating across the island. Accordingly, heavy rains up to 150 millimeters may occur in some places of the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Kandy and Nuwara Eliya districts. The department states that heavy rains over 100 millimeters may also occur in some places in the northwestern province and in the Mana, Gul and Mathura districts. Deputy Director of the Meteorology Department, Meryl Bendis, said that the southwestern monsoon is active over the country at present. Therefore, heavy rains and winds may prevail today and the next few days. Meanwhile, all fishing vessels have been instructed not to engage in fishing activities in the deep sea until further notice. Director General of the Department of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, Susante Kahapatta, said that all fishing vessels, including multi-day vessels, will not be allowed to go fishing until further notice. The department requests the fishermen not to engage in fishing activities these days. Falling of trees in some areas due to heavy rains were also reported. Several low-lying areas have gone underwater due to the inclement weather. Director of the Disaster Management Center, Major General Uday Herath, says that there is a slight decrease of disaster at present. Director of the Disaster Management Center, Major General Uday Herath, said that falling trees and earth mounds may occur continuously due to the heavy rains. The Operations Center is active around the clock. The general public are requested to be vigilant over the possible dangers. The Irrigation Department requests the public to be vigilant over the announcements and warning issued by the Disaster Management Centers and the Irrigation Department. Director of the Irrigation Department, SP Sukeshwara, said that the water level of the Daduru Oya, Ma Oya, Attanagalu Oya, Dilwala and Bentra rivers are at high levels. If rains continue in the catchment areas in the coming few days, there will be flood threat in the low-lying areas of these river basins. Water capacity of all reservoirs have reached about 78% at present.
Moving on to more news here at home, Sri Lankan Foreign Minister Ali Sabri affirmed his country's commitment to safeguarding India's national security interest yesterday, stating that Colombo, as a responsible neighbour, will not allow anyone to harm India's security. Foreign Minister stressed that Sri Lanka works with all countries in a transparent manner.
Clearly stated that we would like to work with all countries, but any reasonable concerns to the Indian security will be taken into note, and we will not allow anyone to harm that. Subject to that, of course, in a very transparent manner, we would like to work with all the countries. Like I just got to know that recently China have become India's biggest trading partner. So similarly, like you work with that, we would also like to work with everyone, but that should not come at anyone else's or third party's cost. So therefore, let me reiterate, as a responsible neighbor and a civilizational partner, we will not undertake anything which would harm the legitimate security concerns of the India.
Many Amisa and Pratipatti Puja programs have been organized throughout the island to mark the Vesak full moon Poi Day. A program towards Buddhist flags in 10,000 three-wheelers will be launched in front of the Dharmayantra in Bauddha Lokamavata in Colombo under the patronage of Venerable Alle Gunamansatera. Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs and Local Government and the Colombo District Secretariat have jointly organized this program. A Vesak procession organized by the Buddhist Society of Ananda College in Colombo paraded the streets last evening under the patronage of President Secretary Saman Ekanayaka. The Vesak pandal presented by the Panadura United Public Market Buddhist Society for the 66th time will be displayed this year. The story of Nandi Visala Jantakya is depicted by this pandal. The Rupavahini Corporation premises in the Bauddha Lokamavata have been decorated with Vesak lanterns and colourful lights. Buddhist Society of the Corporation and the employees have jointly engaged in these decorations. The Vesak pandal in the Kottava town has been constructed for the 66th time this year under the title Siripa Varuna. This is the Vesak song organized by the Dehiwala Municipal Council. Moratuwa Municipal Council has also organized a Vesak song. The Orugudavatta pandal will be displayed this year as well. A Vesak Batiki program organized by the Seva Vanita unit of the Sri Lanka Air Force was held at the Independence Square premises in Colombo today under the patronage of Air Force Commander Air Marshal Udeni Rajapaksa. In addition to the Air Force members, a group of popular singers also joined this program. Chairman of the Seva Vanita unit of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Inoka Rajapaksa, and several others were present at this event.
And on the same topic, the Puja Town Hall Square Vesak Zone, jointly organized by the National Television and the Colombo Municipal Council, will begin tomorrow. Final stage organizing activities of the Puja Town Hall Square Vesak Zone are being held at present. National Television and the Colombo Municipal Council have jointly organized this event. The opening ceremony will be held at 6:30 p.m. tomorrow. This Vesak Zone is opened for public for 4 days up to the 26th of this month. People can view the Vesak lanterns and other decorations and also join the Vesak Batiki singing. A number of dance cells have also been organized for the convenience of the visitors.
The Sadharma Varsha Pohe Day program, monthly organized by the National Television, will be telecast tomorrow at the Kirivehera sacred premises in Kataragaba throughout the day tomorrow.
Moving on, the two drafts bill of state finance management and economic transformation were presented to Parliament today. And here are some views expressed by ruling and opposition party members. Minister Dr. Bandula Guruvardhana said that the country had gone bankruptcy since the Financial Management Responsibilities Draft Bill was defeated by ousting the Ranil Wickremesinghe's government in 2004. This draft bill has been presented against to not commit the same offence again. The draft bill has presented three proposals regarding the debt restructuring decision. The first is to repay the loan arrears up to 95% by 2032. The second fact is that whoever rules the country, the annual state financial demand cannot be exceeded 13% of the gross domestic production. The third matter is that Sri Lanka is unable to obtain loans again because the country can only pay loan installments and interest up to 4.5% of the GDP. This is common to any party that comes to power in the future. If any government is not agreeing with these conditions, they can't maintain a government. SUB parliamentarian Mujibur Rahman said that the country lost about 15,000 million rupees due to the sugar tax fraud. The State Minister of Finance said in the parliament that 30% of the lost sugar tax fraud would be recharged from the relevant party. We're sure whether it was true or not. State Minister Ranjit Singh Lapidya said that he has called a report from the Inland Revenue Department regarding this matter. They say that about 10 companies have earned 6 billion rupees through this fraud. However, according to the Inland Revenue Department, only 500 million rupees have been recharged as taxes. The department is further conducting investigations to verify whether any more taxes can be recharged from the culprits. And in addition, the CID is also conducting an investigation into this matter, and the Cabinet has given its approval to a proposal to implement new tax systems from 2025 to prevent such activities for the safety of the consumers. SJB parliamentarian Ranjit Madhuma Bandara said that this corrupted government should be toppled with the unity of all parties. The government cannot postpone elections further, therefore hold the elections as scheduled. State Minister Shehan Singh has said that the SJB has proposed to reduce the tax percentage of the country up to 24%. However, they vehemently criticized the Gotabaya regime for reducing the taxes, and if the SJB comes into power, they will not continue their rule. Within a period of 1 month, the country will again have an era of queues. They are well aware of this truth. They attempt to deceive the voters before the presidential election. They would have a serious condition in this country rather than it had during the 2022. No government will be able to have a radical economic change in this country until 15 years pass further. They should support to pass the draft bill, and the government is ready to have necessary changes they proposed.
And meanwhile, a gazette notification has been issued last night confirming the increase of minimum daily wage of a state worker up to 1,700 rupees. The gazette notification has been issued under the signature of the Secretary of the Labour and Foreign Employment Ministry, President Ranil Wickremesinghe, and also declared on the last May Day that their daily wage will be increased up to 1,700 rupees. And the General Secretary of the United National Party, Palitharange Bandara, says that all parliamentarians should unite and elect Ranil Wickremesinghe as the president again. At the press briefing held in Colombo today, he said that opposition leader Sajith Premadasa should present the relevant proposal to the parliament. General Secretary of the United National Party, Palitharange Bandara, said that the country cannot afford to spend a huge sum of money to hold a presidential election again. Therefore, the best way is to appoint President Ranil Wickremesinghe to the post until he overcomes this crisis situation. There was a rumor that the parliament would be dissolved soon after this news. The share market collapsed drastically. The international community and the businessmen have placed their confidence on the government. Therefore, the opposition leader can bring a proposal to the House to elect President Ranil Wickremesinghe as the president for another 5 years term.
And in the meantime, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs rejects the false allegation of a so-called genocide in Sri Lanka in a message by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau on 18th of May 2024. The government of Sri Lanka, in all previous communications, has categorically refuted such outrageous allegations of genocide in Sri Lanka. No competent authority in Canada or elsewhere in the world has made any objective determination of genocide having taken place in Sri Lanka. These unfounded allegations relate to the conclusions of the armed separatist terrorist conflict waged by the LTTE in pursuit of a separate state, contrary to the principles of the UN Charter. The LTTE is a listed terrorist organization in 33 countries worldwide, including in Canada. Prime Minister Trudeau's endorsement of this false narrative of genocide in Sri Lanka is highly disruptive of communal harmony among the Canadians of Sri Lankan origin, a valuable community of Sri Lanka heritage living overseas. Many of these peace-loving citizens have constructively engaged with Sri Lanka, and we welcome their support.
And meanwhile, the new Board of Office Bearers has been elected for the Jatika Sevaka Sangha of the United National Party. It was significant that the Board of Office Bearers has been elected by the voters of the members after 10 years. The election was held at the Sirikota Party headquarters recently under the patronage of former Minister Akila Viraj. He was elected as the chairman of the Jatika Sevaka Sangha. Unanimously, and Indika Pushpakumar was appointed as the General Secretary. Sunil De Silva was elected as the National Organizer. MB Anura was appointed for the post of Treasurer, and P. Saman of the Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation was elected as the Deputy Treasurer. PN Sujeeva Sampath of the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation has been selected as the Deputy Secretary. Chairman of the Jatika Sevaka Sangha of the United National Party, Akila Viraj said that this is the third time we came to hold the annual general meeting of the Jatika Sevaka Sangha. A faction has taken legal actions against this matter. However, we are able to hold the annual general meeting today. Our party leader is Ranil Wickremesinghe. He will set up a wider alliance with the support of many political parties in the coming days. Our president will win this match. The Jatika Sevaka Sangha will be committed for the victory of our leader Ranil Wickremesinghe.
And here are a few more local news items in brief for you. The foundation stone and the plan needed to construct the Bodhi Prakara around the Sri Mahabodhi sapling planted at the Biden Temple in Hanoi, Vietnam, were handed over to the Vietnamese ambassador today by Minister Vidura Vikramanayake. A tree planting program was held at the Youth Services Council premises today to mark the Biodiversity Day. It was also held at 50 training centers of the Youth Services Council, and school students and members of youth societies were present at these events. Chairman and the Directors General of the National Youth Services Council, Pasindu Gunaratna, also participated at this ceremony. A ceremony was held today at the United People's Freedom Alliance office in Colombo to mark the 52nd Republic Day. Floral tributes were made at the ceremony to photograph of world first female Prime Minister late Sir Mao Bandaranaike, and political representatives of both ruling and opposition parties and leaders of some trade unions were present at this ceremony. Ireland, Norway and Spain have announced that formally recognize a Palestinian state from 28 May.
And stay tuned for international news after this break.
Prima Kutumi, Santa Mai.
Welcome back with international stories. And Ireland, Norway and Spain have announced that they will formally recognize a Palestinian state from the 28th of May.
Israel reacted angrily, warning the move would mean more instability in the region and recalling its ambassador to all three countries. Both Hamas and its rival, the Palestinian Authority, have welcomed the recognition. Norway was first to make its announcement today in a move coordinated with the other two countries. Israel reacted to the announcements with fury. Foreign Minister Israel Katz said he was ordering the immediate return of the Israel ambassador to all three countries for consultations.
Prima Kutumi, Santa Mai.
Welcome back with this sports update. And Kolkata Knight Riders qualified for the finals of the Indian Premier League cricket tournament by defeating the Sunrisers Hyderabad team by 8 wickets. The match was played in Ahmedabad. Batting first, Sunrisers Hyderabad all out for 159 runs in 19.3 overs. Rahul Tripathi scored 55 runs.
Stark. Yes! He does not make an impact, instead the rain does.
Straight up, keeper's confident. Russell moves away. Gurbaz completes the catch. It's a
In bowling, Mitchell Starc claimed 3 wickets for 34 runs. In reply, Kolkata Knight Riders passed the victory target just for 2 wickets in 13.4 overs. Shiraz Ayres scored 58 runs and Venkatesh Ayres not out 51. In bowling, Pat Cummins claimed 1 wicket for 38 runs and Mitchell Starc was named the man of the match.
Playing a match-winning innings here. 51 of 28 balls. Now Shiraz Ayres.
Prima Kutumi, Santa Mai.
And that's it on tonight's stories. Do just tomorrow at the very same time. I'm Charita signing off with Hesha. Stay safe. Good night.